It's never simple with Portugal, is it? These dudes love extra time. They love a playoff in qualifiers as well, eh? Not to mention a little underperformance. I swear only Portugal can make a 5-2 win so stressful and feel nothing close to a 5-2 win. But they did overcome Denmark. They lost 1-0 in Copenhagen in what was a match that has already been deleted from my brain to make space for more entertaining, enjoyable things, and then defeated Denmark in extra time in Lisbon. It's been a while. It's been a while since I have yapped about Portugal. I mean, it's been a while since I've made a video in general, but last time, I think it was last time, I spoke about how Ronaldo should still be involved with the team. Did you see how great he was at hyping up the crowd and firing up his teammates in extra time against Denmark when he was on the bench? But maybe he doesn't need to start every match. Maybe he doesn't need to play the full 90 of every match, you know? Is that an insane thing to say? Is that crazy? I think more and more people are warming up to that now, especially after the full 90 in Copenhagen and everything up until he scored a goal in the 72nd minute in Portugal. It was a tough watch at times, but credit to him for that finish, right? Not an easy one from that angle, and to get it just inside the post over the keeper, great. Anyway, I'm jumping ahead here because this isn't all about Ronaldo. If you haven't clued in, by the way, this is going to be a very rambly video, a stream of consciousness. Because Roberto Martinez is the annoying dude here. I already kind of spoke about Ronaldo. There's just isn't much else for me to say about him, right? My opinion is known. Stay involved with the team, start in some qualifiers, Nations League matches, that's fine, but not every single one, as you can have a big impact off of the bench as well. When Portugal gets to the big matches, like tournament matches, major tournaments, maybe he shouldn't start all the time because, by the way, you know he'll be there at the 2026 World Cup. And you know after the 2026 World Cup, there will be a headline that says, Cristiano Ronaldo, Euro 2028? Why not? I feel good and will never say no to Portugal. You know it. I can see it already. But anyway, the reason why he shouldn't start in the major tournaments, Euros and World Cups, is because his current record is 1 goal, a penalty, in his last 10 appearances at those tournaments. Mentally and guidance-wise, he has a ton to give to his teammates, but goals from open play are fewer and further between. I don't think that's a ridiculous concept for the major tournaments, right? And the people who say that there's nobody else that is better, look, I'm not saying that Gonzalo Ramos is a better player than Ronaldo. He just never will have a better career than Cristiano Ronaldo. That's obvious. No one would say that, right? But his record for Portugal is 9 goals in just 15 appearances and only 7 starts in there. So he's worth a shout. Don't start him every game. But if the striker, whoever it may be, it doesn't matter, it didn't play well at all in the preceding match, then just switch it up. Give chances to players alongside Ronaldo. Divide it up a little bit. But hey, funnily enough, did you know that he actually is a 30% stakeholder of Media Livre, a Portuguese, I said that with a French accent, a Portuguese conglomerate that owns Portuguese media like Record, Correio, da Manhã, CMTV and others? That's interesting. I will be watching the coverage as a player having a stake in media companies, TV stations and newspapers is very interesting to me. Media watchdog Adrian Souza here. Actually, what's funny is that one of the companies that falls under the Media Livre umbrella is a Portuguese news station called CMTV, often memed and laughed at for their interesting way of covering things. But anyway, back during Euro 2016, you probably remember when he threw this reporter's microphone in the lake. That was a CMTV journalist. At the time, the journalist said, quote, "We are a TV channel of a major newspaper in Portugal. We produce a lot of news about him. Some of it he doesn't like. Perhaps that's why he did it, but it wasn't a personal thing." Okay, this isn't even their greatest hits, but just to sort of illustrate why CMTV is kind of a meme in Portugal, they do stuff like this. Yes, they got divers to go into the lake to get the microphone that Ronaldo threw. This is a news channel, and they're doing unserious stuff like this. Pretty funny stuff. Now he owns 30%, but anywho. Guys, I am typically a Rafael Leão enjoyer, but in the last 2 seasons, he has managed to turn me into a Rafael Leão skeptic. I was nearly a Leão slander merchant, but I kept that between myself and myself. I didn't need to go public for it. So for now, I've been relegated from an enjoyer to a skeptic. And it has been a difficult couple of years since AC Milan won the league, and Rafael Leão was central to that success, right? I mean, this season, he's even started from the bench, not just under Fonseca, but under Conceição as well. In Serie A, in important matches, Coppa Italia matches, many matches. He still started more than he's come on as a sub, though. I will say that. But I think the match that was the turning point for me was his performance against Feyenoord in the first leg, where he was just dawdling on the ball for too long, wanting to beat defenders twice instead of just using his pace to put some separation between him and the defenders, waiting to strike the ball at the perfect moment, which allowed defenders to recover, all that. Ow. And these matches against Denmark were exactly the same. He doesn't play with the team. He is playing his own game, where it's like FIFA Street or something, where he's trying to get point multipliers for dribbling past people over and over again, and then looking sorry for himself, slouching and barely running back after losing the ball. It's so frustrating to watch because the talent is there. Look, I get why he's out there, why he started the second match as well. Ronaldo can't run in behind anymore. He doesn't have the legs to do it. So Rafael Leão becomes that guy who was the threat in behind. But his form is so incredibly low. He is such a blunt weapon in the attack, and it's frustrating to see. I guess my main point here with guys who are not performing well is, why does the national team coach often get stun locked, get frozen, and take forever to make changes? Whether that be changing the starter or sometimes making subs, they often seem to take a while. Change things if they aren't working. That's it. That's my point. Speaking of low form, I am also a Bernardo Silva lover, but his inclusion right now seems a bit misguided maybe. He's not in great form and seems completely burnt out from playing so often for Manchester City this season. Ruben Dias didn't seem like himself either, but he was far better. I mean, yes, the error was an absolute howler, horrible, but his overall play was better than Bernardo's in my opinion. I just couldn't tell why João Neves wasn't out there. Maybe Martinez thought Bernardo's attacking distribution would be better, or that he would be better cover for Nuno Mendes' runs up the pitch, because Bernardo was often on that left, I found. Had to check his heat map to back this up, and sure enough, he was over there. I'm used to seeing him more on the right, but he was over there on the left quite often. Maybe covering for Nuno Mendes, maybe that was the plan. But honestly, that's not the most egregious decision from Martinez though, as Dalot starting again was confusing. Really thought that Semedo would get the start over him, but that's another one that I don't care too much about. One of the weirdest decisions was actually in the first match against Denmark, when Martinez, he did the thing again. The thing that happens all too often, not start Gonçalo Inácio. The guy just doesn't get the respect he deserves. Renato Vega, who had an okay start at Juve, but has since been up and down, he gets to start alongside Ruben Dias, huh? Did they just not respect Denmark or something? So all of those things aside, there were some real positives out there for Portugal as well, such as Gonçalo Inácio starting in the second leg against Denmark. He was so clean in his defensive side of things, and the passing ability that he possesses, how cool he is when he is being pressed by the opposition, unbelievable. Able to thread the needle between two pressing Danes as if he was playing in the park with his cousins or something. Another positive in the two matches was Nuno Mendes and how good he has been this season. He's just a weapon down that left flank. Still only 22, by the way, and deservedly picked up an assist in this game, as he was a top performer for Portugal once again. Diogo Jota coming on for Rafael Leão was one of the good calls by Martinez, changed the game, but I just wish he would start the guy. Hopefully these two matches will be a wake-up call to Jota's importance in the attack, the energy he brings, how he bullies the other team's defenders, his vision and passing ability, and despite being a little guy, his aerial ability as well, not to mention his willingness to work off of the ball, to help in defense. I mean, just start the guy already. Really hope he stays healthy for the rest of the season. Speaking of subs, Trincão was another one that surprised me. Dude scored his first goal for the senior national team, I believe, then followed it up with a second. It's gotta be the mustache, right? It has to be the mustache. The man looked like a Portuguese baller from the 80s or 90s out there, and it gave him the divine power of composure and placement. He didn't try to smash the ball. He just rolled it in. Gonçalo Ramos was also a great performer in extra time. Again, his willingness to press, to drop, and help in defense. His passing was a bit shit. I gotta say, not great, but at least he was getting shots on target, which can be rare with Portugal. I mean, Portugal's not great with that. It's all foreplay and no. To be honest with you, I'd be interested in seeing a front three of Jota on the left. He used to be a winger. He can do it. And he favored the left side in this match, actually. Ramos through the middle and Trincão down the right. Or Conceição. That boy is industrious as well and brings great energy. Mainly Jota on the left, Ramos through the middle, and take your pick of the two on the right. Because for me, that would be fun to see. Much more energy, guys who are willing to graft out there and willing to play for the team instead of playing FIFA Street.
999.
And then you can bring on Rafael Leão and Cristiano Ronaldo in the second half if you need to, right? So yes, who would they do that against? Portugal has Germany next, and that won't be an easy one at all. We all know how Portugal's matches against Germany go, and do I see Roberto Martinez as the dude to change Portugal's fortunes? Do I see Jason Derulo's #1 fan as the answer to Germany? No, I really don't. And his approach of keeping things tight and going to extra time. Remember how many times Portugal did that at Euro 2024? I don't think that will be a possibility against Germany in Germany. So it's time to play, Roberto. And not just your favorite Derulo songs. Football. Honestly, at this point, I am so ready for Mourinho to take over the Portuguese national team. At least with Mourinho, if Portugal are underperforming, he will not rest on his laurels and he will light a fire under their asses. Plus, I think his sort of scorched earth policy that doesn't really work at the club level could actually work at the international level because the players would only see him once every few months kind of thing, you know? You wouldn't burn out that quickly. Plus, he's box office. The man is entertaining as hell. I need to see it, and I'm sure we will at some point. All right, guys, look, I warned you that I was going to ramble a bit in this one, sort of a stream of consciousness, but I missed you and wanted to get something out, and these Portugal videos are always a good time to make. I have fun with them. So thanks for your patience. I'll be back later this week, whichever direction that is, with another video on Juventus, okay? Teaming up with my boy, Beppe. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.